Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today I want to give you my introductory guide to the World Event. It's an event that's brand new to the game. It's a new game mode. It's kind of a wave mode. It's single player, but there is a world aspect. There's an MVP. There's a world record. So there is a kind of nice mixture of individual rewards and global rewards, and also scaling rewards for how well you play. Additionally, as a game mode, also as a wave mode, it has scores that are tracked within your alliance and your friends list, so you can compete, and it's completely free. It doesn't cost energy or anything to play. The only negative is, for some people, it only has a 1 hour window 4 times per day. So technically, you only have 4 hours a day to play it, but you only have to get 2 attempts in per day. So you really don't have to put aside that much time, and each attempt takes 3 minutes, as you will see. So it's only 6 minutes total of your day if you can get them done right away. And so you're probably gonna have to memorize the times that it's on, and I'll find that and put this in the video while I'm talking right now. I don't know them off the top of my head. So let's jump into the actual game mode. We'll talk about the rewards and what they apply to and how you use them later. But first, let's go for the game mode. So when you ready up, and this is the really fun part, you'll be randomly given, not randomly, but for the day or for the hour, everyone will be given the same characters. So everyone in the game who's playing World Event right now is playing with these 3 characters. But they're not just random characters, and they're also not your characters. So it's not your Proxima Midnight, your Supergiant, and your Corvus, because perhaps maybe you don't have them both at level 70, or you don't even have Supergiant unlocked. This is actually the world #1 Supergiant in the game, and if you don't believe me, you can go over to the ranking and you can check the world #1 Supergiant, and you can compare the stats. A very easy, simple test would be to compare the stats on the CTP of Destruction, because it's a very specific 44.9%. Same thing goes for the world #1 Corvus. In this case, it's a 28.7 dodge CTP of Patience. I really wish it was a damage proc, but that's okay. And then we've got Proxima Midnight. So essentially what you do from here, there's really only 2 steps that you need to take. The first step is you need to decide which character you want for your leadership. Generally speaking, you want to go for maximum damage. Debuff is not necessary, so I'm going to drag Proxima over here because she gives the ignore dodge and the crit damage increase. That's going to be the best one. However, if you don't have a comic card set equipped, Corvus might be better because he gives you a decreased skill cooldown. But one more time, it's hidden by my camera, so I'll hide it for just a second. The cards that you're using right down here in the corner are not your cards. These are random cards that are chosen. In this case, we've got mostly premium cards. So if I check the effects, we've got 27% skill cooldown. That's quite a lot. So I don't think I'm going to need to rely on Corvus's percentage, 24%. So we're going to go ahead and use Proxima instead. I'm actually not sure if this game mode uses your alliance. Actually, I can just check right now if it uses your alliance bonus, if the alliance bonus applies to what is it called? World Event, World Boss Invasion, Giant Boss Raid, King of the Hill. It doesn't seem to. It doesn't seem to apply. So perhaps Corvus is the best bet, because we've got 27% on the cards, and then we've got another 24% from him. So that would give us the cap of 50%. So we're actually going to go with this team. I changed my mind, and then you just click ready, and then it tells you that you only have 2 remaining entries per day. So my tip for you is that if the team doesn't seem very strong, or if you don't want to be creative, wait for another time in the day, because some of the teams will be a lot stronger than others. For example, the very first World Event, the team was Ghost Rider, Robbie Reyes, and Dormammu, and no comic cards. Now in that case, yeah, pretty weak team, no skill cooldown, very difficult, World Event battle to face. However, later on in the day, maybe 16 hours later, I played World Event again, and the team up was Captain America Tier 3, Wolverine Tier 3, and Deadpool Tier 3 with premium cards. That was super easy. So you can wait, if you have the opportunity to play on a different World Event a few hours later. Wait for kind of an easier grouping. If you have, if you don't have faith in your ability on this one. Otherwise, just jump right into it. I think you should just try it out. You only need to score 1,000,000 points to get all of the rewards, so that's what you should aim for every single day, as long as you have a team that's good enough and you have cards that are good enough. But this game mode is very fun because your builds are not your own, so you have to adapt to the builds given. In this case, I'm going to be using Proxima because I'm pretty sure she's a damage proc, but I'm going to be remembering that this Corvus in this case has a CTP of Patience, so he's not going to be that strong. So it's quite laggy actually. So the main thing that you want to keep in mind for this game mode is that the lightning at the bottom that shows up once in a while will do damage to you, and the lightning, when it does damage to you, it actually takes away your score. So you do not want to get hit by the lightning under any circumstances. It's going to be really bad for your score. It's actually quite laggy. But yeah, it's going to be hard for me to dodge the lightning. I'm not sure why it's so laggy. Maybe it's just an unoptimized game mode for now. But yeah, so you see there, I lost points there. I'm down to 170,000. And basically, this is how the game mode works. You're going to go around killing the enemies, but you're going to make sure that you want to dodge as often as possible. When the second wave comes, you're going to want to wait, especially if you have a damage proc, because these bubbles around the enemies will go away. Once they go away, you'll be able to do full damage to them. I usually wait just a couple seconds till they all spawn in, especially if you have an AoE-like attack. It's better to hit them all with the AoE. I actually don't think Proxima has a damage proc. I think she has an invincibility obelisk, so actually Supergiant would be a little bit better. Once you kill those robots, you'll then fight against Ultron. Whenever there's a boss at the top, you can't actually target them at first. You have to kill all of their summons, all of their clones. So don't try to attack Ultron, because even though he has a health bar, you can't, like, he regenerates his health. And it's basically just kind of like the phase 1 versus phase 2. So in the first phase, although Ultron is there, you can't actually hit him, or you can't actually kill him. And then in phase 2 or phase 3, when he moves to the center of the arena and he indicates that he's ready to kind of fight back, that's when you will attack him. These robots that are here, they explode on you and they can hurt you and they'll take away your points. But if you can actually kill them fast enough, you will get points. So now Ultron is in the middle of the stage. Now you can fight him. In this case, if he hits you as well, because he's a boss, he will take away your score. So you do need to be careful. Any of the telegraphed attacks, when there's like a red line at the bottom, just like the lightning, you can see there I lost some score again. Whenever there's the red circles and you stand under it, you will take damage. Another thing to note is iframes. You can use iframes to your advantage because you won't take damage during iframes. There's no iframe ignore, so you can iframe it underneath a lightning circle and everything will be fine. Another suggestion, another tip that I have for you guys, apologies for the lag, but another tip that I have for you guys, maybe there's a lot of people playing right now and that's why it's so laggy, is to let enemies come to you and group up. Now, that doesn't always happen. Sometimes enemies will spawn like this, where they're all using AoE attacks, and in this case, you have to go to them. But if any enemies has kind of melee-based attacks, they will start to chase you down, and then that way, especially if you have some sort of circular AoE move, you know, Proxima doesn't. She has a nice kind of ranged attack, but if you're stuck with a character that only has kind of AoE moves around you, then you do want to get the enemies to cluster in on you. I wasn't too worried about scoring perfectly that time because I can always replay. And this is the really beautiful part about the world event. It is calculating my score and it is giving me my rewards because I reached the score threshold, and I actually just barely reached 1 million, which is the final score. So I do get all of the rewards. However, if I were to get, let's say, you know, 10,000 because someone called me or I got interrupted, Bacon came barking, I could always replay, and it will always take your best score as your best record, and then if you beat your old score and you unlock the next round or the next level of rewards, it will give you the next level of rewards. So there is always the incentive, even after you've done your 2 daily plays, which are the daily plays that will give you a personal reward, you want to continue to play in order to get your maximum reward, and you want to go beyond 1 million. I've seen this question asked before: what's the point of going beyond 1 million for world event, because your individual reward only tracks up to 1 million points? Well, on top of the individual reward, there is the world reward. And the world reward is based on everyone's average battle grade. So it takes all participants' average battle grade, and it gets a score out of 10. So if we all stop at 1 million, it will only give us an average battle grade of, I guess it would still be 10. Okay, that's a little bit confusing. I think you should still, I guess you don't have to go beyond 1 million, because if your battle grade is 10, then you only need to aim for 10, and that's why we're already at 9.8. so I guess you can stop at 1,000,000. But if they change this in the future, you do want to aim for as high a score as you can as possible to make sure the world reward goes up as much as possible, as close to 10 out of 10 as possible, so that we all get those maximum rewards. Because on top of the individual rewards, you will get this at the end of the day, at least once per day, for the world event that you participated in. Additionally, if you do get first place overall, I believe, so right now if Tony 1500 were to be the MVP at the end of this world event, which ends in 45 minutes, I do believe that his comic cards would be the ones possibly that are used for the next world event. I haven't yet tracked it down. I haven't yet confirmed if that's how it works, but it's a theory that's being thrown around right now. So if you have really dope comic cards, or if you have really bad ones, but you can score high and you want to troll the community, that'd be a pretty hilarious way to do it, because then everyone who plays for that world event in that 1 hour would have to use your comic cards, but you have to be the MVP first, so it's pretty difficult. Overall, I think this game mode is very fun. It encourages, learning about the skill rotations of every character. It's great for veterans because they'll have that advantage immediately, and it's great for newer players because they'll get to play with a kind of maxed out account, not only in terms of the characters being maxed out, level 70, gear 25, etc., mythic uniform, but also with those mythic premium comic cards, so they can see what it's really, what really packs a punch in the game. Next up, I want to talk briefly about the rewards. I'll make a separate video for this, but I'll briefly discuss the agent tokens that you get that will be sent to your inbox when you complete, as well as the agent kits. So the agent kits that you open are synergized to use with the agent tokens, but technically all you really need is the agent tokens. The agent tokens are much more valuable than the agent kits. But you'll eventually need kits because you'll run out of other materials. So the way that it works is you get your tokens and you get your kits. Your kits range from the regular kind of white color or kind of normal, then green is advanced, blue is rare, purple is heroic, or I guess in this case premium, but then we also have orange and possibly even red for legendary and mythic. And those agent kits will give you a set amount of XP for your agent level. So when you go into the menu and you go over to agent, you'll be greeted with this page. I'm in the top 1%. I'm going for top 50. And you can upgrade your agent badge using the agent tokens and those agent kits. So that's basically just how it works. It's pretty straightforward. Why would you want to increase your agent badge? Well, by increasing your agent badge level, you increase your agent level, which gives you more bonuses. The bonuses are not, they're not game breaking, but they're helpful. But they also give you additional bonus points that you can use for the agent bonus. And every level equates to 1 point. So I'm level 137. I have 136 points because everybody starts at level 1. And you can put that towards things like gold acquisition, increased item acquisition chance. And if you click on it, you can see where it applies to. So this doesn't apply to co-op. This doesn't apply to World Boss Invasion. This doesn't apply to World Boss Ultimate. It just applies to the missions tab. So all the stuff in the missions tab in the first set of tabs when you open up the game menu. And so you can just decide what you want based on your account. I'll do a more in-depth analysis of this later, and you can always reset it for a set amount of gold. But basically what you do with the agent tokens and the agent badges, or not the agent badges, the agent kits, is you go over to the settings menu, and here you will see that I've accrued 5,000 agent tokens, and now every time I add an item to the materials tab, it will increase my level, it will increase my XP here, and it will cost a set number of tokens. So in this case, I add one of the normal types, and it costs 200 tokens, as I'll show you here, 200 tokens, and it gives a very small increase. Conversely, I can add one of the purple ones, and it also takes 200 tokens, but it gives you a much larger XP bonus because, of course, it is, purple. It's heroic. It's not normal. So this is kind of the same logic that they have for upgrading obelisks. If you have a legendary obelisk and you want to get it to mythic, and you put some purple obelisks into sacrifice, those are going to give you more XP. Whereas if you put a bunch of 1-star obelisks, you're not going to get much XP at all, and you're going to spend more gold that way, except instead of gold, it's tokens. So generally speaking, what most players have been doing is either using the kits. If you want to get a much higher level, if you want to be very aggressive, you can also use fully awakened ISO, particularly the purple and orange ones, because they're not used for Power of Angry Hulk or Overdrive. and those will give you a pretty hefty bonus, which looks to be a little bit better than a heroic level agent kit. Also, if you want to go even more ham, the fully mythic Uru also seemed to give a pretty decent XP. It's not as good as the fully awakened ISO, but it's good. But the highest one by far is the comic card. If you have 6-star comic cards, they don't have to be premium. Just any kind of mythic comic cards, those will give you a lot of XP towards your agent level. So in this case, I've been using them to push my agent level to the max, because I want to get into that top 1%, because in my opinion, the chances of me re-rolling these cards and getting a good card are like 0, because I've rolled so many times, I've made so many videos, and I've never gotten anything good. But if I can push my agent badge high enough, and if I can push my agent level into the top 1%, and I'll show you here what happens. See, we get 3 agent levels and 3 agent points. My strategy is that if I can get my agent level high enough so that I can get into the top 50, I will automatically get a 5% max HP. And that would probably be about the stat bonus that I'd be getting from, you know, re-rolling one of my cards to being good enough. It's a little bit better on the cards. You get a little bit more than 5% max HP in my situation, but I like this guaranteed 5%, and it's basically 0 RNG. So that's why I've been sacrificing my comic cards. Most people think I'm insane for sacrificing my comic cards. You definitely don't have to do that. It's just my strategy, my personal strategy. But you can always just go with using the agent kits because they have no other use in the game. Or you can go for something else, you know, ISO, Uru, whatever you have extras of, if you want to go ahead and use that. I'm actually just going to use that as well because I still have plenty of tokens, and I'm actually now at agent level 141. So I think if nobody gets ahead of me, I should be able to clinch the officer rank in 24 hours when it resets. Because if you look here at the ranking, and I was checking today because I'm rank 144 and it's kind of pissing me off, the last rank here, the rank 50 guy, is 141. So I'm right there. I'm knocking on the door. Maybe if I can push to 145-ish, I should be able to clinch top 50 for the time being, and then maybe I can stay there for the rest of the game. Who knows? So let me know what you guys think of the world event. It's also got a homepage splash if you forget, and it's got a timer, which is so cool. I love this new game mode. I can't wait to see what's coming next. Let me know what you guys want to see next on the channel, and of course, if you like what you see, I hope to see you again tomorrow. Take care.